Live from the Slackers Sports Bar Studios. This is In the Building with Mike Taylor and Rudy Jay.
Look at that. Look at that. You know, it's been a weird week with us all traveling. But let the record show that this show will not crap on the listener. We will go to great lengths to continue to do broadcasts. They may not look like they're supposed to, but it's an abbreviated version, Holmes. The boys filled in for me on Tuesday when I was traveling in midair. And today I will extend the honors and redo the favorite of one, Rudolfo Janssen, who is, well, where is Rudy? I'm not real sure. As we do this particular podcast for Thursday morning, I think Rudy is over the airwaves of America. I think. That dude had so many problems. LG had travel problems. LG, by the way, is in not Quebec, in Canada, not Canada, Canada.
He
is in French Canada. I am in Hawaii. We are 6 hours apart. I don't know where the hell Rudy Johnson is. Rudy J is MIA en route to do his Air Force Academy service job, which we are happy that he's doing. It's been good for him. It's great exposure for him. Excellent exposure for this particular show once ever this TV show does drop this fall on the Armed Forces Network, I'm assuming. But because of that, Rudy had to go to California. I don't think he's in California yet. You know, LG's had travel issues this week. I've had travel issues this week. I don't think that you and me, our travel issues combined are not worse than what Rudy J has been dealing with because of big weather. I think he had big weather issues. He had to go from, I think, San Antonio to the Metro 6 and then Metro 6 to L.A., and then he had to commute out to Santa Barbara, which ain't close to LAX if you know your Southern California geography. And so he is unable to attend this show, and that's okay. Like I said, y'all did it for me on Tuesday, and we'll do it for Rudy J today. So hello, good Thursday morning, good fart drop Thursday morning. I'm going to try not to curse too much today as well, so it's a total abbreviated show. Come here. We're going to have a guest on the show. So, there for the longest time, every time we did a show, I would receive a call from this kid right here. This kid right here, we've changed the start time of the show, so whenever you call me now, I'm already done for the day. But back when we were doing the show at a different time, you always called me during the show. And I think Thunderdomes, they miss hearing your voice on there. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay, that's okay. Go back. Go. What are you playing? Some violent shooting game? Cool. Quality parenting. I mean, actually, he's doing Bible lessons. You rolling through Psalms? All right, go back. Thank you. There's my kid. All right, that's 1/4 of my children. So I am in the hellscape with daddy duties, but still trying to do podcasts. So all that to say, I'm going to try not to curse too much. I'm a cursor. I try not to do it gratuitously, unless I've been drinking. But I cuss, I've tried to cut down on my cussing. I don't know if some days I have better days than others. But with my 2 kids here, my twins, my youngest, I'm going to try to refrain from so many frickin' cuss words. I'm going to try to say frick and dang and shoot and gee, oh golly. Do the Canadians have cuss words? I'm sure. Maybe I'll cuss in French. Like, how do you drop the F-bomb in French?
Thick? I know tabernacle is like some kind of cuss word. I don't know if it's actual cuss word, but they say that when they're pissed off. Tabernacle.
Tabernacle?
Yeah, tabernacle.
Tabernacle. Oh, tabernacle.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm writing that down. Tabernacle.
You never heard that one?
How the hell? No.
Tabarnak, I think.
Okay.
Tabernacle.
That's not French, is it?
Tabernacle. Yeah. It's very popular.
Sure.
It's very popular swear word used to express anger, annoyance, or surprise in Quebec.
Huh. Did they say that in France?
No, it says, well, according to whatever Google page
Okay.
just popped up,
It's
it's
exclusive to the
Quebec.
Quebecian.
It's a
Okay.
Quebec slang word. Yeah,
Okay. So
Quebecois.
we know why I am. They know why I'm in the hellscape because I've got kids. I got kids all over America. Why Thunderdome wants to know, LG, only weeks after going to Montreal, you have decided to return to French Canada. There are rumors saying that you're house searching. Why are you back in that part of the country? Or
I
the
wish
world,
I.
I should say.
They're not gonna give me a visa. I can't house search up here.
It's a dumb question, probably, but why did you choose to go back to that part of this world we live in?
To be honest, I had points to burn, and this was one of the cheapest tickets out of all. This was cheaper than flying to freaking Denver, cheaper than
No
flying
shit.
to Houston even from San Antonio, which
Wait,
goes to show our airline system is really messed up. But
so you're in Quebec. I struggle with that. Cheaper than it would have been had you gone to Houston for 2 days and
on
come back.
plane, yeah,
Oh
on a
my
flight,
God.
yes, it was like 50,000 points to fly to Houston,
Okay.
and then it was only 15,000 for Quebec.
Okay.
So
We've all three just been franked over, as I try not to cuss, by the airline system in this country. So I can't. Rudy was texting a storm earlier, telling us what was going on and stuff, trying to keep us, in communication, hoping to do this show. And then it turned into, well, I might not be able to do the whole show. Maybe you can call in. Okay. Then it's turned into, we don't even know where he's at. I think he's in an airplane. So homeboy got delayed, had to switch a flight because he's got deadlines tomorrow with the Air Force. He's got to get to Santa Barbara. Maybe for season 2 when it blows up, they'll send a Huey chopper or something to pick him up and just fly him straight to bases and stuff. But
I imagine he's
then,
probably flying to LAX or something.
dude, I
Maybe.
can't wait to hear his story when he gets back in here on Friday or next week because all I know is at some point, and was it Southwest that double charged him? Who was he flying? Southwest,
Oh
I want to
yeah,
say.
yeah. He got double charged
Not
on
only was it
on the
delayed by weather,
rebooking.
he rebooked and got double charged for one flight. And so he's like, hey, you double charged me. Oh, sorry, Mr. Johnson. We're going to reimburse you. Cool. Is that going straight in? No, it's going to take 7 to 10 business days. Not days, business days. He may not. So he's out, whatever the flight is from here to L.A., he's out twice. And now has to wait at least a week to get reimbursed. That's absolute foobar.
Yeah.
He should get a free flight, honestly, for that
Well,
shit.
he's
That's
out 3
bullshit.
times.
Right.
Double on Southwest and the original on American. So that's 3 flights he
He,
had to pay for
my God, for one.
temporarily.
That's insane.
Temporarily.
That's insane.
That's how the credit card companies do it to you.
Yeah, I know. 10 seconds to take it and 10 days to pay it back. Unfortunate. So I don't know where Rudy is, but I know he's alive. I'm pretty certain he's alive, and as soon as we hear back from him, we'll update the people. My God. As you can tell, I failed Thunderdome. Now I'm at least I'm doing shows here, right? Normally I don't have any backdrop. I still look like I'm in a hut. Although my hotel room is kind of like a hut. Dude, so today when I woke up this morning, my goal was to go get some stuff for the backdrop here. And I had
wouldn't
this
worry
idea.
about it, man. Don't worry about it.
Well, might as well not now. Shit, we only got one more show to do. Yeah, I got up this morning, and my goal was to go to Goodwill. There's a Goodwill 1.8 miles from this hotel. I was going to go find some cool art to stick in the background. And I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get some exercise. I decided to walk rather than ride a bus or take an Uber. I didn't rent a car because it costs way too much money, and it's like $1,000 for the week, and then you have to pay $35-$40 a night to park it. So I don't have a car, and so I got up this morning. I'm all like, all right, I'm on an old man power walk to Goodwill, and I did. So I walked to Goodwill, go in there, and leave with nothing. They didn't have one effing single piece of used cheap art. Not even posters.
Wow.
I would have settled for a chicken or something at this point over what you see behind you now or behind me now, but nothing. And so I'm like, well, that was defeating. So I decided I'm going to ride the bus back because I'm a little tired because I
Yeah.
decided to stop at the grocery store because my twins were coming today, so I needed to go get some groceries for the week. Stick them in my I got this little tiny ass fridge in this little hut I've got. I have a fridge, a microwave, and I got a little tiny fridge. No coffee maker, unfortunately. And stopped at the grocery store. And on the way home, dude, I started feeling a little bit of pain on the bottom of my foot. Well, I've been
Uh-oh.
walking a lot. It happens. So I've been walking. No big deal. And so I get back to the hotel and put all my groceries away. My foot's, so the pain level on the scale is what's on the bottom of my foot, like on the heel. I just figure I've walked a shit ton this week, so I just figure my foot's sore or whatever. My shoes I'm wearing an old pair of sneakers. I probably need some new shoes. No big deal. So on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain threshold, the pain level was probably just a 3, but enough to feel it. No big deal. So I get home, put all my groceries away, and then I took a nap because my body clock is so off from back home. 5 hours different. I was just dead tired after all that, so I took a nap. So I wake up from my nap of about 45 minutes, and I get off the bed to go take a shower, and it's my right foot. As soon as my right foot makes contact with the floor in this hotel, it felt like a sword was sticking upward out of the ground from the carpet, and I stepped on it. For a half a second, I thought I did step on something. So I leapt up, I pulled my right foot up in the air, and it's on fire. I didn't step on anything. I'm like, what in the hell? I had to go to the restroom. I had to go potty before I took a shower. Dude, I barely made it from my bed to the restroom. And then I had to stand in the shower. So, but I get out of the shower and I'm like, what in the hell? So I walking around, trying to walk this off, and I did. It actually went away. And then I'm sitting here in this chair and I'm looking at my foot like, what the hell's going on? Can't be that sore just from walking a couple of miles. And then I realize in the middle of my foot, dude, I have a bump. So I've got heel pain, but then I have like this fleshy mass on the very middle of the bottom of my foot, my underfoot. Like a swollen, it had swollen up.
You got bit by something?
No, it wasn't red. It was from underneath. It was not a bite. It was swollen from the inside.
Ugh.
And so I'm like, what is going on, man? And so it's like, I sit down, I'm doing some research, and I almost texted Doc Garrett. And so so my crack diagnosis is, at the age of 49 years old, I have a bout of plantar fasciitis. So I went to Goodwill this morning, came up empty-handed, but I did come home with a case of plantar fasciitis.
I don't know if that's
That's
that.
what I think's going on. Well, and what I read was it comes in waves, the pain. And it's temporary. Like once and when you've been sitting down for a while, and I was in the bed taking a nap, after you get off your foot, you lay down for a little while, you have this initial burst of intense knife-like pain for about 10 minutes while you walk, but somehow it walks itself off.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to go get the kids from school. I'm like, oh my God. But it started getting, so I had to walk to the bus stop. And well, by the time I got to the bus stop, which is about 2 blocks away, it subsided. It was the weirdest thing ever. So there's the pain's still there, but on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 3. But when I first got up from that nap today, it was a 9.5. It was awful.
Sounds like something else.
It was debilitating. So I think I had plantar fasciitis. So Nina has plantar fasciitis that comes and goes. And my diagnosis is also based on her because whenever she has a flare-up, she has these exact same things happen to her. It comes and goes, and after she's been sitting down for a while when she's battling it, and when that initial burst, when she first puts weight on it, it just kills her for like 10 minutes, but then it slowly goes away. But she's never had a bump though on her foot. Like I had swelling too. It was like a knot in the middle. Like you ever bumped your forehead, you get this little knot. That's what I had on the bottom of my foot, dude. So I think it's plantar fasciitis. I think I know I need new shoes because I've been wearing the same pair of shoes for about a year and a half, and they're starting to wear thin anyway. So when I get home next week, I'm going to have to buy me a new pair of shoes because I can't be dealing with no plantar fasciitis if indeed that's what it is, and I'm not 100% sure. That's my best guess.
You got foot issues,
dude. So now, yeah, I know. So now I have a bunion, I have a cyst, and now I have a battle of plantar fasciitis.
Yeah. I was waiting for it to make an appearance. I thought you were leading up to putting your foot on the screen again.
No, the knot's still there. You just probably can't see it on the screen.
Yeah, now. Well, no, once you described it, yeah.
Yeah, there's the foot. Is it? That's off camera. There you go. Here we go. Can't see the knot, but it's there, I assure you. It's the left foot. I think I said right. I meant left. So now I've got excruciating pain on my left foot with a knot. On my right foot, I have an effing bunion and a cyst.
Have you gone off flip-flops since you've been in Hawaii?
No, and that's the other thing. So I brought my Olukais. By the way, I'm still waiting on that endorsement deal from freaking Olukai, as many pairs of shoes as I've sold for those people in the last 10 years. I brought my Olukais and I brought my sneakers. And I wore my sneakers to Goodwill because I had to go on a 2-mile walk, so I wanted the old man fast walk. So I'm not wearing the sneakers. I wore my chanclas, my Olukai chanclas, to go get the kids, and my foot felt great. Dude, I don't know. By the way, my bunion never hurts and my cyst never hurts. But I do have this thing on my left foot that totally hurts. I'm just getting old. I'm about to turn 50. And it's all starting. This is when it just starts falling off starts chafing off like an old roof.
Better book that colonoscopy, buddy.
Dude, I know. I know. I agree with you. I should. I agree. I know. I mean, shit. So a colonoscopy, maybe I'll get that for myself for my birthday.
There you go.
I'm just, it's just what happens to you when you get old. It's like an old, stuff just starts falling apart. One shingle here, I'm using a roof analogy because I'm about to lead into the GC spot. one shingle here, one rusty spot there. Unfortunately, the human body cannot stop the rust in the shingles. We can treat it, but you're only going to get older. However, if you actually literally have a roof that's starting to rust or has shingle issues, GC Services. GC Services Roofing and Construction. A sad yet maybe one of my finer segues of all time into a live spot. It is GC Services Roofing and Construction, serving San Antonio, Texas, in Corpus Christi, and you, Thunderdome. If you are in need of a roof, or you think you might be, or you're just not sure, maybe you just bought an old house or whatever. Maybe you own some property and you need to make sure that your roofs are up to speed. Go get GC to come out and at least take a look-see, as Jerry Jones would say, and take a look at your roof and see what you might need. All right, so just keep that name in your head, filed away for the future, because at some point, if you're a homeowner, at some point that roof's going to go shitty. And we are still in the middle of storm season. God knows we've got big storms all over the country right now, except in San Antonio right now. But I'm sure we'll get one or two more big ones before the summer kicks in. GC Services Roofing and Construction. They do residences. They do commercial roofing too. And they install solar as well. If you're in the market for solar, it's gcservicesroofing.com. Number 210, of course, 347-0426. 347-0426 or gcservicesroofing.com. gcservicesroofing.com. All right, what else today? Oh, by the way, before we move on, I need to get a hold of something called Robert Godina. I'm assuming that's Godina, not Godina. Robert Godina. Check your DMs. Uh-oh, I don't hear you. Check that again. Check 1 2. Come in, LG. There you go.
Audio.
There you go. All right. Don't screw with me like that. We're so far apart right now.
Is he the dude who won the missions tickets?
Yes. So and I messaged him like 5 days ago. Hey, dude, you won the tickets. Hit me up. I was going to give him seats to this. There's a homestand this week, but he hadn't got back to me. So I need him to email me so I can send him missions tickets. If you can't get it, it's okay. They're good for the whole season, Robert. So let me know what game you want to go to at any point this year, and I'll hook you up. But Robert Godina, check your DMs. I messaged him twice and nothing. You have won San Antonio missions tickets. All right, okay. What's your day been like? You had to travel all day too. What are your plans for the?
I mean,
Now that you're settled.
I need to punch United again.
Oh my God! Okay, let's just get into the punches of the day then. God Almighty. Okay, you go first. Let me guess. United Airlines again. Presented by the way, the punch of the day, by the law office of Orlando Kell. Why are you punching?
So I got that text yesterday that they were going to delay my flight to Chicago because the crew didn't have enough rest. And so that happened.
Not enough rest. Sorry, no flight. It's been delayed by 2 hours.
It got delayed by 2 hours, which caused me to miss my connecting flight to Quebec City in Chicago. So because that flight left at 11 and my plane landed at 11:30. So bye-bye. So United tried to rebook me. They were going to fly me from Chicago to Newark, New Jersey. And from there to Quebec City. And I would have arrived here at 10:30 p.m. I looked on the departure screen right there at the airport in Chicago. And there's a flight, American Airlines, Quebec City, leaving in an hour. And I look I go back to the desk, pull it up on my phone, and like, here, there's a flight for American. Can you guys not switch me to American? And the lady looks at me, she goes, oh, that'll work. Here's your new boarding pass.
Oh, wow. That's it.
I was like that. And I was just like, what? You were about to send me to New Jersey, and I was going to arrive at 10:30 p.m. I got here at 4. It's like, what the hell? Dude. 2.5 hours from Chicago, and they were going to send me to New Jersey first.
I don't have the air miles racked up that you do, and I always go cheap because I'm cheap, And normally I fly when I come out here to Hawaii, it's expensive, so I fly cheap. I'm by myself. Nina will probably come with me later this year when we come back, but I flew by myself, so I was like, that's fine. I don't mind. I just go to Priceline, find the cheapest flight. I don't give a shit about the connecting cities and all that kind of thing. It's cheaper. I'm by myself. I've got books and whatever, But, man, if I can help it going forth, even if I use Priceline again, I just don't ever see me using United Airlines again. They screw you. They screw
I'm gonna
up
try to
every
avoid
time I
them.
fly them.
My problem is I have a shit ton of United points that I need to spend.
Oh, that are United specific? Well,
yeah.
Well, at least it's a cheap flight, or like you said, it's cheaper to go to there than Houston,
Yeah. Well, I booked the cheapest seats on the flight too. Like I'm way in the back, last to board. Like.
Oh yeah, Group 6.
Yeah, but American came through. Their flight, there was an older plane, like the ones that only have two seats on each side, and it was nice. It was a good flight. They were on time.
Man.
I mean, on time is the main thing. Their pilots seemed rested.
Yeah, the crew was not exhausted. The pilot was. So when they said that the crew didn't have time to rest, I wonder if they meant the actual pilots or the flight attendants.
Well, they said something about it. They were like, "Yeah, we were all rested up and ready to go." It's just like great. I wanted to ask whose fault it was. Like, you know what it is? It's delays. It's a domino effect of delays. We're probably feeling some sort of effect from all the storms that went through, and like because one delay causes the next crew to be delayed and at the end of that, somebody's not going to be within the federal regulation of rest, as far as because it just affects them until they finally catch the fuck back up.
Or did the pilot go to Chacho's and drink one too many martinis or margaritas and he wasn't able to fly? That's happened, and they would lie their ass off about it too.
What's the bit? Is it an SNL bit where they go drink at the airport bars? I forget. It's some show. Yeah, is it SNL?
I think it is SNL. It's an old bit. Yeah. God. God, what an ass!
They dress up like pilots and go to the airport bars and get drunk, get smashed.
Trying to pick up women.
They act like they're about to go fly.
Right. All right. I got a punch. All right. So my punch today. I want to punch the son of the co-founder of Buc-ee's. All right. That's my punch today.
What's that pervert up to?
Well, he's a pervert for sure. He's back in the news again because I think it's so. Headline today in the Express News. The charges have been up to 21 counts of invasive recordings. You know, I think you and I covered this story exclusively last summer for Thunderdome. The son, according to MySA.com, the son of Buc-ee's co-founder Donald Wasik, a rich man, Donald Wasik, has been indicted, not Donald, his son, in Travis County on now 21 counts related to invasive visual recordings. This dumbass, Mitchell Wasik, got popped last October on dozens of felony counts after being accused of recording people without their knowledge or consent in bedrooms and bathrooms at an apartment that he was letting people stay in Dallas and at a lake house in Travis County. So he was doing this at his apartment. He had his own apartment bugged with cameras in the restroom. And he bugged, not his house, because he's a little shithead who just got a rich daddy. He bugged his dad's lake house on Lake Travis. And he bugged one of his dad's homes in Austin. So we had 3 different residences, this asshole, in which he had cameras in the bathroom. My kids are here, so I got to tread lightly. So the bedroom, I get, not that I condone it, but you understand why a pervert might do that in a bedroom. But a bathroom?
Maybe he's got a scat fetish.
Well, which is why he ought to be castrated. in Taylorville, he'd be castrated. I'm sorry. God was out to lunch when he made your brain. You came out off, and we need to do something with it. That's ridiculous.
You don't want no camera in there with me when I'm taking a dump. That's for sure. Who wants to watch that?
No one.
Are you grunting?
People that need to be castrated. Yeah, I've done a lot of flying this week, so my diet's changed.
Are you the kind of guy that takes his shirt off when you dump?
I've been known to go roll shirtless. Why'd you ask me that? Because you do it too?
No.
How do you know I do that on occasion?
Because you seem like the kind of guy that would take a dump without a shirt. Not every dump, but like good ones, like intense ones. You rip it off, and you're like, all right.
Okay.
It's like Al Bundy grabbing the paper. You take the shirt off.
Okay. A, you're correct. B, what about me led you to that? I'm serious. I want honesty. What about you led you to that notion?
Well, your nipple appears on the show like every week, so.
on the bottom of my feet. So I have been known. Now I will tell you that's very rare, but it happens. It's kind of like, it's more often than leap year. Let's say I play about 3 or 4 rounds of golf a year. So let's go with that. About 3 or 4, as much as I play golf. So it's about 3 or 4 times a year. If I'm struggling and I really need to dig in,
yep,
I have been known to go to just take my T-shirt off and throw it on the ground. To dig in.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why boxers don't box with a shirt on. Sometimes you just need to go barbaric with something. But it's once a quarter.
It's only natural.
They caught me off guard when you said that because you're right. I do that. And I've never told any other humans. And now I just told 1,000 people, 1,000 of our friends and you. Great.
It happens.
Dude. I've been known to go completely in the buff. I was really struggling. Like I needed no confinement so I can just work that thing. Like I just went ahead.
Nothing around the ankles.
Nothing. Just kick it off over by the T-shirt and just roll commando. Just dig in, man. God almighty.
You can see it,
All
dude. Do
that to say,
you pull your knees up like you're on a squatty potty?
I haven't done that. No, I've done that. No, I have reached down and grabbed my ankles though, trying to help things get down the highway. Yeah. Yeah, well, there's high traffic and I'm backed up. I've been known to reach down and just kind of, I feel like I actually read that online for constipation, that reaching down like that can help. Now, it does not say to strain the way I strain. That can cause hemorrhoids, but I just want it out of there because I get impatient,
Yeah, you could like prolapse or something.
Gross. I've seen that before on certain MPEGs, and that's not a pretty sight. Anyway, we're getting off course here. Why the hell would this son of a bitch whose dad founded Buc-ee's? Who does that?
Because he likes to see people doing things like that, like what you do.
Gross.
He can blackmail you.
So gross. There's nothing sexual about. There's nothing arousing about that in the least. So punch that SOB. I still have to fly United coming home. I can't wait. I'll probably have an adventure story when I get back next week.
I do too, but I'm looking to try to change that if I can.
All right, it's Orlando Kell. He actually just texted me. What's Orlando want? Let me see. Oh, he's complaining about his wife making him go to concerts he don't want to go to.
Uh-oh. My advice is don't rep yourself, Orlando.
Yeah, I know. The things we do for our better halves, man. Hope you're enjoying your kiddos on the island. I pray you're not dealing with any BS out there. Well, yeah, just typical traffic, high cost of living. I probably can't play this because he's at a concert. Probably getting sued if we play it.
I don't know what it is, so don't.
Who's playing in San Antonio tonight? Neither one of us are home. There's some boy band
or some '80s rock hair band or something, or some rock legend
it's his wife. Was a Bon
Poison.
Jovi cover band. Oh God. Let me see if I can listen real quick in my ear without letting it go over our show because I don't want to get sued. Let's see. See if I can tell it
Sounds like Tejano or something.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that Justin Timberlake?
He is on tour.
Oh, it's Timberlake.
Yeah, it's his worst selling tour of all time.
Well, he's tired. He needs to give it up. Okay, no, yeah, it's Timberlake.
He puts on a good show.
At a Justin Timberlake concert. I don't hate Justin Timberlake. I wouldn't go see him in concert, but
I've seen him in concert.
I'm not shocked at his sales.
But he was at I saw him at Yankee Stadium with Jay-Z.
Oh, and I'm sure he was great.
And Alicia Keys.
Right, he's just a bit tired. Hang on for a second. Hang on, time out. No, you can't. Those are daddies. Sorry, you can't drink that. That's for grown-ups. You can't drink that. You're sorry. You're only 12. I have some muscle milks, protein shakes in the little fridge, and my daughter's trying to drink one. Babe, you won't like those. That's not chocolate milk. That's a protein shake. It's not great. Y'all should not be drinking protein shakes. That's for grown people that have our bodies have already quit growing. I'm on the back end of growing. Now I'm debilitating like an old roof. Anyway, no. I'll buy y'all something when we get done. They're getting antsy.
Who thought that muscle milk was going to be a good name? It sounds disgusting.
I don't know. I like to drink. I like to go plant-based, bro, with my protein shakes, but my options are limited here in Waikiki. And I'm trying to maintain my current. I'm trying to drop a few pounds, so I've been substituting muscle milk at lunchtime. You see me drink that crap in our studio back home. Yeah. It's not the greatest tasting thing, but I've been using that every other day at least for lunch, and honestly, it helps because it makes me full, and then it's working for now. So, no, you can't have the muscle milk. That's it. It's for my kid. All right, it's Orlando Kell. Are you tired of being dragged to crappy concerts? And you're done. Get my boy Orlando Kell in your life. He will take care of things. It is Orlando Kell, the official family lawyer of In the Building. Hit him up at 210-775-4995. Or you can email him directly. Not right now, though. He's at a concert. He'll get back to you tomorrow. It's Orlando Kell Law at gmail.com. Orlando Kell Law at gmail.com. All right, so I don't know what the opposite. I guess what's the opposite of punch? Hug, kiss.
Slurp.
I want to slurp. All right. Oh, yeah. Let's slurp. I want to slurp the longtime food critic of the San Antonio Express News. I'm giving them some love today. Mike Sutter. By the way, since I'm not home, that's who I rely on to keep me up to speed back home is the Express News. So shout out to the Express News. I'm not always, I give them a lot of grief whenever they write things that are dumb, but this is an example of me backing them when they write things that are smart and good. Longtime subscriber, and Mike Sutter's the longtime food critic. What a great job. He gets paid to be a food critic. So normally, okay, no offense, but it's just a bunch of clickbait. Here's the 10 best taco joints, in my opinion, in town. It's fine. It's fun. It's good clickbait stuff. It's great. It's entertaining, and it's on their online version. But he released this morning. He wrote Mike Sutter's 5 worst burgers in San Antonio. And on the heels of a segment that you and I and Rudy Jay just did last week, Mike Sutter has declared the worst hamburger in town is Whataburger. How about that? The worst. So Mike writes, it's time somebody came out and said it, which, by the way, we said it last week and we've said it before. But Mike writes, it's time somebody came out and said it. Whataburger sucks. God forbid somebody in San Antonio should say that. We treat Whataburger like a hometown hero, never mind that it never was. It's Corpus. And now it's just another asset in a Chicago firm's portfolio. Through orange-colored glasses, we failed to see the beat-down beef, the bun crushed by overreach and ennui. We failed to hold accountable the burger that tastes like the wrapper it came in with the little round sticker that says no onion, bacon, or you can do better. He says, I'm part of the problem. I declared Whataburger the winner of a showdown with Burger Boy, a true San Antonio local. That's crap. I heard Burger Boy is way better than Whataburger. He says, but if you scroll down, you'll see Burger Boy in this rogue gallery too. He threw Burger Boy under the bus. There's no place for misplaced idolatry, even if the altar is open 24 hours a day. For me, it's a choice between Whataburger and Nada Burger. I'll take nothing every time. Wow, annihilated Whataburger.
That's some solid writing right there, Sutter.
Yeah, nice work, Mike. Shout out to Mike Sutter. And,
It's
I agree.
wordsmith.
I would have, NUI? I mean, does he know he's writing for San Antonio?
Isn't the average paper reader of the New York Times on a 5th grade reading level? Isn't that what they said?
I have no idea. I read the Times about 5 times a week, so it may be true. But good on Mike Sutter for spitting the gospel on Whataburger. And I finally came around late last year, and it's gotten worse over the years. And I don't know if it's related or not. I don't know if it's not. It can't be coincidental. But ever since the Dobson family let that thing get taken over by Chicagoans, the place has gone to spit. It just has. Whataburger sucks. And that sucks, but it's true. I don't get paid to come on here and pump sunshine. We get paid to come on here and tell it like it is. You can do a hell of a lot better than Whataburger.
But Whataburger could pay us to pump sunshine.
But if Whataburger wants to be the official sandwich... But here's what I will say to that.
Let me get some Whata wings.
I'm not that desperate for money. They're going to have to improve their product before I endorse them. Here's an opportunity for another burger place to jump in here and become the official burger of this show now. Just saying. Because, if I'm going to take Whataburger on, then they're going to have to up their shit. They're going to have a higher standard because their standard has gone way down to the toilet. Way down.
I had a delicious burger earlier today before I got on with you here.
They're in Quebec?
Yep.
All right. I was going to ask you about cuisine sitch. So it can't be much different from Montreal.
No.
So I'm going to spend the weekend trying to eat a bunch of the local stuff here in Hawaii, and I'll make the kids roll. Now that I got the kids with me, I can roll video on this stuff. What do you have planned for cuisine out there? Are you just going to go like fruit? You're a foodie, man. So what do you got planned?
I'm just gonna walk around and see what I find. I'm obviously
spontaneous.
Yeah, I'm gonna have. They're real big on smoked meat here. I don't have my drops, but like they do these smoked meat sandwiches, kind of like a Reuben, though the way the meat is in a Reuben, like smoked corned beef. But it's a little different here, and they have their own bagel situation up here. They like
Okay.
they compete against New York bagels, I guess. I've never been a big bagel
Okay.
guy, but I'm not huge on French food either. If you like French food, they got it everywhere, like gourmet shit, like duck
Okay.
confit and like all sorts of bistros and this and that. I do have
Yeah.
reservation. I have reservations booked at Les Affaires et Ketchup, which means just throw some ketchup on it. It'll be fine. It's like a
That's gonna
it's a slang word for like everything's gonna be okay, basically. But
Oh, that's cool.
it's a place that Bourdain booked when he went up here in parts
Okay, that's
unknown.
cool. You know, you and I need to do a bit with Rudy, and I'm not kidding. I'm writing this down. So we need to. We like. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how much money we have in our current bank account as a show. But at
Not
some
enough.
point, you and I. Well, at some point. Well, after the $300 you fronted me yesterday, I know we don't have much. So,
Wiped it out.
but at some point, we need to go to Mon Chouchou in the Pearl.
What'd you call me?
And Mon Chouchou.
What does that
My
even
French is
mean?
not great. I have no. I used to know. Someone told. I think it means my. Well, I think mon means mine. Oh
Yeah,
God,
it's
hang
my
on.
mine is mine. I don't know what shushu is. Like mon ami is my friend.
Mon. Yeah, mon chouchou. Okay, what does mon chouchou mean in French? Okay, mon chouchou means sweetie, my sweetie.
Oh, okay.
There you go. All right, so that's where we're gonna. We should go to mon chouchou and eat there at some point to celebrate Victor Wembanyama being in town. I know that's a stretch. That's a stretch,
I
but we
should
should
award
do
a
it as a show.
Wembenama jert in honor, even though it's not the same country. It's just the same language over here.
Wemby. I wonder how many Quebecians have even heard of Victor Wembanyama. Probably not a lot.
I doubt it.
I actually had some Hawaiian flavor today, and I didn't roll on it because I got the kids with me. So now that I got my little helpers, I'll be able to do some videos this weekend, and maybe my goal this weekend is to, as we traverse around the island. Hey, I need y'all help me make some dang videos this weekend. I'm going to have them. We're going to do some Hawaiian stuff. So AJ Garcia he tweeted me earlier. They get my he's I'm gonna give him a shout out because he renewed his membership today for $6, which we'll get right back on the membership train next week when we're all three back home. Says they get my money every month like clockwork. I hope it goes to fried spam, burgers, and pineapple though instead of booze in Hawaii. I didn't use your money for booze, although I did have some red wine last night. I used your money, AJ, for some Hawaiian cuisine. So this morning for breakfast, I had Moco Loco. Well, AKA Loco Moco. All right. Translation in Spanish, crazy booger. You know what crazy booger is, don't you, LG? In Hawaii? Loco Moco?
I know
You
what the
ever heard of
dish
it?
is. I know what the dish is. Yes,
Yeah.
I've had it. Yeah,
Yeah. You can get it at L&L in
yeah.
San
You can get it at
Antonio.
L&L. There's a few places that sell it.
And the stuff I had this morning was out of a gas station. But they cook it. But the dude cooks it at the gas station. It's one of those scenes where you walk in there and the dude's in there cooking. So they have their version of, like, I don't know, Valero it's called Aloha. Imagine that. There's a bunch of gas stations called Aloha,
It
and
means
they're like,
hello
and they
and
have a lot of.
goodbye.
It sure does, and they have a lot of them have local cuisine in it, and it's pretty good. So I went in there today and had a local moco. What that is, so it's a bed of white rice with a hamburger steak thrown on top of the rice, smothered in gravy and caramelized onions, with
Fat.
a big huge fat. I thought you didn't have your drops. With a big huge fried egg on top of all that.
God, it's
And
like
I
a
ate
heart.
that this morning.
It's a heart
That
attack.
that was my breakfast.
Oh, sorry, but fried eggs and burgers. Whoever made that combination, they don't go together.
And I
You
will
can't
tell you
put a
though.
fried egg on a burger, man.
So it was not terrible. It was not as good. It was not as terrible as a Whataburger, but it was It was fine. Got the job done, and because of that, that's the reason I had a protein shake for lunch.
Good
to
God.
balance all that crap out. And yeah.
And you're about to take your shirt off and head to the bathroom here in a second. After
Well,
all that.
that already occurred. That thankfully occurred already today. And indeed, I
Nothing
probably
like Loco
yeah.
Moco followed by muscle milk.
No, I'm gonna mix in some plants probably only for dinner here in a little while when I take the kids out. Maybe I'll have just plants. That way I can won't have to remove my shirt tomorrow morning whenever that morning glory occurs. So that's good. God Almighty! I want to give a big shout out to my boy, Mr. Singh at Texas Cheer Liquor. I'm gonna do a bit this way. Another one of my bits I want to do is I need to go. I want to compare booze prices here, especially where I'm at. It's in a very touristy area, which I don't prefer, but it's cheaper based on where I stay every time. Which, by the way, Thunderdome, if you're looking to go cheap, it's enough. It gets the job done. Hell, I can even do a podcast in this room, technically. Hit me up. I can tell you where the best place to stay for your dollar in the heart of Waikiki, the touristy area, but that's for another time. All right. I want to compare booze prices to the crap we have here to what Mr. Singh's got back home in Texas Cheer Liquor. So I'm going to do a bit, which, by the way, he's got his big engraving thing coming up on Friday. This Friday, as in mañana, when you watch this show on Thursday, from 5 to 8 at the OG Texas Cheer. It's the one way up on Potranco Road. So if you live on that part of the city, he's got 4 different bottles of booze. Good hooch, too. Nothing crappy. If you're watching the show, you can see it there on the screen. In which he will give you a free engraving if you buy one of those 4. Hell, buy all 4 of them for Father's Day. It's a Father's Day bid. He does this every year from 5 to 8 Friday, May 31st, at the Potranco Road location. Is Texas Cheer Liquor number 1, the original one.
Whoa.
If you buy a bottle of if you buy a bottle of Gentleman Jack or Gentleman Single Barrel or Woodford Reserve or Herradura Tequila, they have an engraving scene right there on site in the store, and they will engrave that bottle for you. You can make it out to whoever you want to. Now, it's a Father's Day bit, but I'm sure you can have it engraved and give it to whoever you want to. What a great idea for Father's Day, which comes down here in a few weeks on, I think, June 19th. All right. So thank you to Texas Cheer Liquor, the official liquor store of In the Building in this show. All right. I thought I'd end tonight. I'm not going to sit up here and do 2 hours without my boy. And LG's traveled all day, and I got antsy kids. So I thought I'd roll through a couple of quick kicks here before I get out of here. And all the quick kicks are brought to you by the official studio sponsor. Whether we're back home on the beautiful confines of LG Studios, or we're in Quebec, or God knows where Rudy's going to end up this week, or looking like I'm being held hostage by a terrorist organization here where I'm currently at. Slackers is the studio. No matter where our studio be, even if we're on remote, Slackers. Thank God for Slackers. They have done us a real cool favor this year by partnering up with us. They knew who to get in bed with, and we knew how to get in bed too with them. One of the great sports bar chains in all of South Texas. They got 5 locations. They're our guys. They're Slackers. 5 locations. You got the one in the medical center. You got the one down on St. Mary's. You got the one by North Star Mall. You got the one on Natco, and you got the one on Thousand Oaks. It is Slackers, the official sports bar of this show. All right, couple of quick kicks. Get out.
We'll be there on June 20th, exactly 3 weeks from today.
Indeed.
Cool. The one by North Star.
All right, I'm writing that down so I can continue to promote it. I've not been to the North Star one, so I'm excited for that one. What's the occasion other than a day after Father's Day?
I believe
another one of their boiled.
Well, I believe it's their 10th anniversary of opening Slackers.
Oh no!
I might have the number wrong. I might have the number wrong, but it's definitely an anniversary.
Right. I'll look that up. Okay, October. Jesus, I need to get some sleep. My body's so off. June 20th at Slackers. Okay, cool. All right, some quick kicks, and we'll get the hell out of here. What did I see today? Another Chiefs in trouble with the popo. Been a hell of an offseason for the Chiefs, man. So he's saying it's BS. I don't want to punch the guy, but if this is true, this sumbitch ought to be locked up. Because, while I would say this if he was neglecting kids or people, But people that leave dogs uncared for to starve are the kind of people that might stick a camera in somebody's bedroom. Honest to God. You have a chromosome missing if you get off on torturing dogs or neglecting them. How can you live with yourself? He says he didn't do it, and I hope he didn't, because if he did, he's a bastard. He says he So here's the story. So 2 warrants have been filed down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for Chiefs defensive lineman Isaiah Buggs. Isaiah Buggs has been charged with animal cruelty, 2 different accounts, 2 different dogs. Officers in Tuscaloosa say that they found a gray and white pit bull and a black Rottweiler on a screened-in back porch with no access to food or water. They're literally screened in on a porch with no way out, and God knows how long they've been there. Finally, somebody noticed these dogs, called the cops, called animal control or whatever. When the 5-0 got to this porch, both dogs were malnourished, clearly neglected, probably poop everywhere, pee everywhere. Literally, they were starving to death. Both dogs were seized. Unfortunately, the pit bull had to be euthanized. The other dog is recovering. Hopefully, that dog will make it. And so this son of a bitch here, Isaiah Buggs, assuming he did it, I guess I shouldn't call him a son of a bitch. I just get so pissed over these dog neglect stories. His lawyer says he didn't know. His lawyer says he didn't do it. According to his agent and his lawyer, now his agent's a guy called Trey Robinson, says that Buggs simply did not know those dogs were there, had no idea, and had he known, he'd have went and gotten the dogs out. Says under no circumstance does Mr. Buggs condone the mistreatment of any animal. The dogs at issue did not belong to him, and he was unaware that they remained at the property in question. But the 5-0 in the area, they call bullsh. They say, no, these were his dogs. He's responsible for them, and he, for whatever. So that's where we have conflict. Now, here's where the story takes a weird turn. So Buggs' agent says that local authorities in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which is just outside of Birmingham, where Bama is, and Buggs played at Bama for Saban, they say that Buggs is being targeted by the cops in Tuscaloosa and real estate authorities in Tuscaloosa over a hookah lounge that Buggs owns in Tuscaloosa. That took a curveball. So they're saying that Buggs has been harassed constantly by people that don't want him owning this hookah lounge in town. Okay. For whatever reason, and so the agent says that in recent weeks, authorities have showed up to the hookah lounge and arrested Buggs on 2 different occasions for BS reasons and didn't even hold him in jail. He wound up being released. I have no idea what the charges are or the accusations are, but they say this is retaliation because they don't want Buggs owning this hookah lounge for whatever reason. And so what are you saying? That the cops then starved 2 dogs to death to blackmail Buggs? I call bullshit on Buggs right now. But again, I'm Mr. Innocent until proven guilty. But that's a hell of a stretch. Oh, no. They planted these dogs and let them starve to blame my client because they don't want him owning a hookah lounge. That's a story that I'm interested in. I'm interested in continuing to cover this story, but it's just the latest in a weird offseason in Kansas City for the Chiefs. What else today? And of course, as we predicted, all charges against Dallas's own Scotty Scheffler, have been dropped. He will not face any reckless endangerment, no assaulting the cops, no criminal trespass, none of that stuff. All charges dropped because, of course, they were. That incident last week in which the cops told Scotty Scheffler, hey, stay here. And he's like, nah, screw you. I got a tee time at the PGA. And homeboy jumps the curb, drags the cop 10 feet. Cop goes to the hospital. He's all cut up and got bruises and abrasions. But I knew as soon as we found out that cop in question had his camera turned off, it was night for Louisville PD. It don't make a damn what Scott Scheffler did. As soon as we found out that cop did not have his cam on, they knew they'd never been able to make charges stick. and nothing will hold up in court. That jury would throw that. It wouldn't even have gone to a jury. The DA would throw that out quick, and Scotty Scheffler is a free man. Beat the charges. If Rudy were here, he'd say it's because he's 6'6" white man. I would counter by saying the cop should have had his camera on. And we'll end it with this. I want to give a shout out, as the rest of the sports world's been doing for the last 24 hours, to the great Bill Walton, the legendary UCLA center and longtime NBA player whose career got cut short by debilitating knee and foot problems and back issues, who turned into probably the most famous broadcaster in college basketball in the NBA this side of Dick Vitale. Lost a battle with cancer at the age of 71. The great Bill Walton. I got nothing to add on Bill Walton that hadn't already been said. One of the coolest dudes ever, one of the funniest guys ever, a hippie at heart. He saw over 850 different Grateful Dead shows, so much so they made him an honorary member of the band and all this kind of thing. The great Bill Walton, who beat to his own drum, a hippie's hippie, the great Bill Walton. I got to interview Bill on the phone when I was at ESPN Radio on the Metro Sex years ago, probably 19 years ago. Interviewed Bill on the phone, and the interview took 12 minutes. And I got a total of, and I knew going in, I told my producer, all right, when we have Walton on, let's count and see how many questions I'm going to be able to ask him, because he was the most long-winded guy in history. You could ask him, hey, what do you think about that, the zone defense that Syracuse played last night in the tournament against Duke? He'd go on this soliloquy and compare it to a Grateful Dead song and how it meant something to the universe, and it was that moment in time that meant it was like the universe meant for Syracuse to win that game. It was insane. So in a 12-minute interview, I got in 2 statements for Bill Walton. I wish I could somehow make the audio appear. Got two statements in for Bill. Hey, Bill, how's it going? Thanks for coming on. What'd you think about that game last night? I swear to you, 8 minutes later, I asked the second question. And then 4 minutes go by. His people probably were telling him he had to go because he was doing a bunch of interviews that day. In a 12-minute radio interview, I got in 2 questions for Bill Walton. The greatest, easiest interview of all time. Shout out to the great Bill Walton. Rest in peace, my man. All right, LG, you get some rest tonight too, dude. It's been a long day for you. Rudy's traveling for the Air Force. LG's doing God knows what in Canada with all those heathens up there. And I got to figure out a way to make my budget hold up till Monday with these 2 kids. So y'all give us thoughts. I'm planning on doing a show Friday, LG. Are you? I'm planning on being here for Friday. I'm planning on.
I think I'll be here.
All right.
Yeah, I should be around.
All right, we'll have a Friday show. I have no idea what it'll look like, but we're going to have one. Damn it. I guarantee it.
2 of us will be here. We don't know which 2.
At least 2 of us will be here.
Well, I'll definitely be here.
Well, if you can't, then none of us will. So hopefully you and one of us, at least one of us will be here. That's it. We're done. I'm off to have dinner. I'm off to have coffee and try to stay awake because it's 6 o'clock p.m. in Hawaii, and I'm ready to go to bed.
Bonsoir.
We be done. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
LG, ahui ho. Aloha malolului. Akona baglan. Bona ahui ho. Aloha. Mahalo. I'll see you tomorrow. Get some sleep, man.
Ademan.
We're done. Ademan. Tabernacle. We're done. See y'all tomorrow.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers and listeners like you. Thank you.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.